Championship Championship week is here, and that means it's time to pull out all the stops in pursuit of fantasy baseball glory. That's why we've got options all around the diamond for you today to help bring that championship home.
It's about that time.
Stoned on Sports.
How's it going, everybody? You're tuned into Stoned on Sports Fantasy Baseball. My name is Matt. Got the co-host Kyle here with me today, and it is our final, I guess we'll call it normal baseball show of the season. We will be back next Monday at 8, different time, just to put an invitation out there to whoever wins the podcast league if they want to come on and chat for a little bit, and we'll just kind of put a bow on this season.
Okay.
But enough of that. We ain't worried about next week. We've got people fighting for championship glory.
We do. First, please take a moment, like and subscribe for us. We're on the march to 500, and we can't do it without you. And it's free, so just take a moment. Appreciate it. All right, so you're doing good. I'm doing good. Baseball's almost done. Tigers.
You just assume I'm doing well. You didn't.
Yeah,
even
you're
ask
doing
how
well.
I'm doing.
Yeah, you're fucking doing well.
Okay.
Magic number for the Tigers. 5.
Dude, they control their own destiny, which is amazing. Scooble went out there today and did his thing, much to the chagrin of Dubo and the Twinkies up there in the Twin Cities.
Right.
Love to see it.
Great.
Though.
I turned it on because I saw it was delayed for like an hour, and then turned it on, and I watched Wenzel's bat, his 2-run double or 2 RBI double. So it's nice. But
yep,
that's
I
how
saw
we're
the highlight. I checked on the score. It was 0-0, like in the, I want to say like 5th inning, something like that. And I was like, damn, of course it's going to be some close bullshit, but they came on through.
All right, so we'll get started. I see a Dubo in the chat. Thanks for joining us today. First guy we got for you is a Rocky player. He's had 5 home runs over his past 2 weeks, and he has 6 games of homes this week to end the season. Matt, tell us more about Hunter Goodman.
Well, he has been the number 2 catcher over the past couple of weeks, and that really, I think, is a good microcosm for what the catcher position has been pretty much the entirety of the year. Over that time, he's got a 250, 294, 750 triple slash. That gives him an OPS creeping up on 1,050. You mentioned the 5 home runs. He's also scored 7 runs and driven in 11. And we're going to focus on that part because looking at his season on the whole, there's not really a whole hell of a lot to be happy. There's no denying he is on a hot streak there, though. And again, like you said, Colorado's at home to close out the season. On the year, he's hitting 189, 229, 423. That's a 652 OPS, 13 home runs, 8 doubles. He's scored 24 times, driven in 35, and he's even stolen a base. You don't hit under 200 by accident. And his struggles start at the most basic level of baseball, and that's just hitting the damn ball. He's only making contact a little over 70% of the time, and he's at 82.6 in the zone, and it's not for a lack of trying either because the dude is up there getting his hacks in. He is swinging at 77.7% of the pitches he sees in the zone and 58% overall. Both of those marks, 11 points. Higher than average, and I think that mark there in the zone is probably the highest one I've seen all season. Guess what else happens when you don't make much contact, but you swing a shit ton? Strikeouts. He's striking out 28.5% of the time. He's got a swinging strike rate at 17.1%, which would be the opposite of elite, and his whiff rate is rubbing up against 32%. With a chase rate of almost 40%, I'm surprised he's being pitched in the zone as much as he is, but it's still less than most. Pitchers are making sure to slip it in there early, though, to get ahead early in the count. Walks? Yeah, he's got 8 in 214 plate appearances at the time of this research, which was Sunday, Monday, yesterday, something like that. When he does make contact, though, he can put a charge into it. His exit velocity is a touch low at 88.3, and his weak contact is high at over 6%, but he's hitting it hard over 40% of the time. His max EV is 114.7 miles an hour, so there's some nice top end there, and his barrel rate is almost 13.5%. Unfortunately, he struggles to hit the sweet spot, and he's not making the most of things when he does hit it. He's been pretty damn unlucky as well. His BABIP is just 194. I don't even I consider myself a relatively smart dude. I know baseball pretty damn well. I can't reconcile how you end up with a 194 BABIP when he hits the ball as hard as he does. Still, with a healthy 16.7 degree launch angle, the end result is a ball hit in the air more often than not. I wish the line drive rate was a little bit higher, but it's still over 20%. But that doesn't back up the low BABIP I mentioned a moment ago. He pulls it quite a bit, but he's still got power from right center to the left field line. And we are at the time of the year when, I don't care what happened earlier in the year. I see you're on a hot streak. And if my catcher is not touching what this dude is doing, I'm going to run his ass out there. Well, you got to pick his ass up first, then run his ass out there.
Yes, you do.
Though he has under 150 plate appearances this season, Pavin Smith has put up similar numbers to what he's done in twice the time in previous years. Are you willing to ride him in championship week, Kyle?
His stuff, his underlying stuff's pretty impressive. Eligible at first, mostly sees time in the outfield, and I wonder with Gurriel coming back if he's going to lose some at bats, but he's been better than Jake McCarthy lately as well, and Jake's been the one sitting, so that's been kind of nice. I expect that to continue, but if Pavin cools down, he could easily find the bench again. Through Sunday, he has 8 hits in his last 9 games since September 8th, and he is fantasy outfielder number 5.7 points per game. That's awesome. And in Roto, he's the 8th ranked hitter in standard 5x5 formats over the last 2 weeks. 148 plate appearances this season. You mentioned just under 150. He walks at an 11.5% clip. Love it. Strikeout rates below 19%. Love it. He's not really getting too lucky either. His BABIP's just a couple points above the MLB average. Among batters with at least the 150 plate appearances this month, just 10 had more home runs than Smith through Sunday, and just 6 hit for a higher average than Smith at his 375 mark. And just 3, Shohei Ohtani, Tyler O'Neill, and Kyler Schwarber have had a better barrel rate than Pavin Smith. That's some damn good company. Looking at some more power metrics, his exit velocity is amazing at 90.6 mile an hour. Hard hit rate, also great, just a couple ticks under 45%. And his bat speed's above average too at 73 miles an hour. Swing and miss for Smith. What swing and miss? Whiff rate, Matt, 21.3. Chase rate, even better, 17.1. It's the 7th best mark in baseball among hitters with 150 plate appearances. I'll keep this quick. Suffice to say, if you're looking to pave a way for a championship, Pavin might be a great spot in your util.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that's what I did there.
Look at you getting slick with the words, and it only took you a year and a half to do it.
Yeah, sometimes I'm a wordsmith. Other times I just jumble them all together, and nobody really understands. All right, next guy we got, ex-Tiger. Jose Iglesias is starting every day for the Mets. Jeff L. McNeil's gone for the year, and he's hit over 400 over his last 13 games with 12 runs scored. I think he's a good deep league option. What do you think?
I would agree. Since the 8th of this month, he's been the number 8 second baseman with a 404, 436, 519 triple slash. That's an OPS over 950. He's only gone yard once, but he's given you a couple doubles. He's scored 12 times, driven in 2. But we love the run production, right? Whether he's scoring or driving them in, it works. He's having one of the best seasons of his career, keeping in mind he's only going to have about 84 games played. This year, he's hitting 335, getting on base almost 38% of the time, slugging just under 460, and OPS well over 800, 4 home runs, 16 doubles, 38 scored, 25 driven in, and he's even swiped 5 bags. There are a couple different ways to beat yourself. As a pitcher, it's by walking, guys. As a batter, it's striking out. And this season, Jose Iglesias is one of the best at not beating himself. He's striking out just 12.6% of the time, one of the best marks of his career. Not a lot of swing and miss with him at all either. His swinging strike rate is just 7.1%. Whiff rate is at 14.7. Both marks are among the best in the game. He'll spit on his fair share, though, with a called strike rate over 18%. Shittily enough, he follows that low strikeout rate with a low walk rate. He's currently at just 4.2%, and he's chasing quite a bit with a rate over 38.5%. But the dude excels at making contact. He does so over 86% of the time overall and over 90% of the time in the zone. Overall, he's pretty aggressive at the plate too, offering at 52% of pitches, but he's selective in the zone, swinging 63.7% of the time. He's got a good stick up there, but he's not laying good wood on anyone. His exit velocity is at 86 flat. He's not hitting it hard nearly enough at 30.5%. His barrel rate is really low at just 2.4% as well. There's a lot of weak contact off his bat. His rate is almost double the league average. He's not beating balls into the ground as often as he has in the past, but it's still a regular occurrence. His fly ball rate is almost 4 points below average at 20% flat, but his line drive rate is 4 points in the other direction at 28.1%. That's helped him to a 374 BABIP, which is driving his high average. So pretty much the opposite of Goodman.
Yep.
You're not going to get much pop from him, obviously, but there will be run production, a high average, and by extension, a better than average on base percentage. Right now, it's the time of the year. All that counts, right? Points leagues, get on base. Don't strike out. If you're not going to score points for me, at least don't take points away with the strikeouts. I think he's a damn good option. I'm going to run his ass out there for the rest of the season, and I would be happy to do so, even if it's just in something like a middle infield slot.
Heck yeah. Mets, man, they really they were looking completely different earlier this season and really turned it around.
Yeah, they've had a hell of a turnaround, not unlike our Tigers, who, with any bit of luck, will be playoff bound. It's so close.
It is.
I can taste it.
I know. Sunday's going to be one of these deals. Ring in my hands all day Sunday.
Hopefully it's wrapped up by Sunday.
Hopefully that'd be cool too.
This Dodgers do-it-all guy is batting over 300 over the past couple of weeks and gets 3 games at Coors Field to close out the season. Should there be a spot on your team for Miguel Rojas?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's only 7% owned in deep leagues. It could make sense if you have a need. Since the 8th of September, he's got 10 games played, 9 hits, 2 homers, 3 driven in, 7 runs scored, 6 walks, 6 Ks. He's slashing 300, 432, and slugging 500, and he threw in a stolen base too. And in that time frame, he had a 9-game hit streak as well. On the season, this guy's strikeout rate is outstanding. It's at 10.3. Among all hitters with 300 plate appearances this season, it's the 4th best rate in baseball behind Arise, Ernie Clement, and Stephen Kwan. Pretty good company there. Well, Ernie Clement's not really a name many people knew before this season, but walk rate's not as good. 6.5% puts him in the bottom third of hitters, and no one's going to mistake Rojas for a power hitter. That's just not his game. EV, hard hit rate, barrels are all in the bottom 7% or worse. You guys remember squared up rate? That's how much velocity did you get? How much velocity did you get as a share of how much exit velocity was possible based on your swing speed and the speed of the pitch. And a squared up swing does not have to be hard or fast. Rojas's is excellent. 32.4 among hitters with 300 plate appearances. It's the 15th best mark in the majors, right in front of Juan Soto. Pretty cool stuff. Where he does excel is putting the ball in play. Contact rates are ridiculous. 9% in the zone, 9% higher than the MLB average in the zone. And chase contact rate, it's about 15% higher than the league average. And I could see why his strikeout rate is as low as it is. He just doesn't whiff. Just 13.9% of the time, tied for the best whiff rate among all those hitters with 300 plate appearances. He's had a really nice season. He's got a career high 2.8 FWAR this year. His batting average, slugging, WOBA, both real and expected, are all up over last season, with his slugging almost 100 points higher. And with those last 3 games at Coors, it could be good stuff, unexpected, production from Rojas next week or this week.
This week.
I'm all screwed up today. Shortstop. We got a Tiger for you.
Yes.
The way the Tigers are cooking right now, I think you need to consider adding several pieces of that lineup. One of those pieces is shortstop Trey Sweeney, who offers a decent speed power combination. Matt, what do you think?
I would agree. And we went from a current Dodger to a former Dodger.
Mm-hmm.
He has been a top 10 option at the shortstop position the past couple weeks. 333, 391, 548 triple slash. That's a 939 OPS, couple dongs, 3 doubles, 10 RBIs, 6 runs scored, and a stolen base. And he's got multi-hit efforts in 2 of his last 3. And he came over from the Dodgers in the Jack Flaherty trade and has been an excellent replacement for Javi Baez, both this season and hopefully going forward. Since he got the call on the 16th of August, not quite as good as he's looked recently, but he's a rookie. We understand that, right? He's hitting 247 with a 290 on base, a 430 slug, 4 home runs, 5 doubles, 9 runs scored, 17 driven in, and 2 steals. Past couple weeks have been nice, but he's still a rookie with 100 big league plate appearances. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows, unfortunately, and we're going to start with his plate discipline. Right now, he's striking out 27% of the time, and lately it's been even higher. It's been a combination of things. His swing and miss is high, his swinging strike rate's at 14.8%, and the whiff rate is one of the highest in the league at 30.5. There's also some window shopping going on. His called strike rate is almost 16.5%. He's carried mid to low 20s rates through the minors, but the swing and miss was nowhere near as bad. He's not really walking much either. Right now, he's got a rate of 5 flat, a little less than half of what he put up in the minor leagues just earlier this season. He's chasing quite a bit as well as he learns how the zone works at the big league level. Pitchers are pretty aggressive, working in the zone over 45% of the time against him. And there's some contact issues here as well. Unfortunately, overall, his contact rate is under 69, nice, and a half percent. And he's just below 83% in the zone. He does swing more than most, but I'd like to see him be more aggressive with what he offers at in the zone. Even though he's not hitting it as often as he'd like, when he does, he's making the most of it and beating it up. His exit velocity is great at 91.7. Barrel rate is almost 10.5%. His hard hit rate is a sexy 49.3%, and he's got an outstanding 1.5% weak contact rate. That is excellent quality of contact all around. He is a fly ball hitter that doesn't pull as much as most. All of his home runs have either been pulled or to center, but he does have extra base power to all fields. Right now, he's showing struggles against off-speed and breaking pitches with whiff rates over 42% against each, though he has shown a ton of power against breaking balls and isn't having anywhere near the same struggles against fastballs, which is a good sign. That's the first thing you want to show you can do when you come up to the big leagues is, all right, can you handle big league heat? Yes, he can. Well, the breaking pitches break a hell of a lot more in the show than they do even at AAA or AA. I was watching just a little video yesterday of Jackson Job's slider, and it just, I mean, that shit looks like a wiffle ball up there. I can't fathom trying to hit that. Overall, though, if you're looking for some sneaky production, I think he's a damn good option for you.
Tigers shortstop of the future.
Yes, and the present.
Thank you, Jack Flaherty, for having a great season so we could trade you and get Trey Sweeney.
It's all right. He's still going to get a ring for his contributions to the Tigers World Series team.
God, I hope so.
Yes. So how can you be a top 15 outfielder with a 195 average? By carrying the big stick. Tell us about Giants outfielder Mike Yastrzemski.
Yeah, he's strong side platoon guy, scheduled to face 5 righties this week. So he going to play since the 8th of September. He's number 13 fantasy outfielder. And yeah, Matt mentioned the power. Every home run counts. especially at this time of the season. And he's seeing a bit of a power surge, 5 home runs over his last 12 games. He has a total of 18 on the year. Not going to hit his career high of 25, but still having a decent season. 12 games, 8 hits, including a double. Those 5 homers I mentioned, 11 driven in, 8 runs scored, 5 walks. He has struck out about 26% of the time, but that's right at his average for the year. And the slash line, Matt mentioned the batting average. He's 195, 283, 585 since September 8th. And if you're getting him for his power, you're going to have to be okay taking that shitty batting average. You take the good with the bad. Strikeout rate, I mentioned. Walk rate's a tick above average. And a guy with all this power, he is a straight up pull fly ball hitter. Fly ball rate's over 31%. And he has almost a 19-degree launch angle. Sometimes that launch angle gets him in a little bit of trouble because he does have an infield fly rate over 10%. It's pretty damn high. But you came here for the power, not for weak-ass pop-ups, right? EV, 90.4 miles an hour. Hard hit rates over 41%. Barrel rates at 10, above average in all 3 of those marks. And even with the high strikeout, he's still somewhat of a disciplined hitter. Chase rate's pretty low at 23%. It's the 33rd best rate in the majors. And when I looked him up on Fangraphs, I didn't realize since the beginning of September, technically right at the end of August, he's been batting leadoff. Strange.
A little bit.
So since the end of August, he's been batting first there. I kind of like that. Sometimes you'll see him bat like I've seen him 2nd, 5th, 7th, but mostly he's hitting lead off. He makes solid contact. You'll have to live with some of those strikeouts, but he can be a solid replacement option for managers needing power this final week. Pitching. Andrew Heaney averages a strikeout per inning and has a great start in the final game of the season on Sunday versus the Los Angeles Angels, who he just beat 2 weeks ago in a quality start with 8 strikeouts. Can you do it again, Matt?
You know what? I think so. And, we're kind of staking our reputation on it, giving this last minute championship week advice. He's been just outside the top 50 since August 5th. So not necessarily an every week starter, but more of a priority streamer. In that time, he's 1-3, team context matters, with a 3.66 ERA, FIP's about a half a run higher, a 109 whip, 49 strikeouts, 10 walks, 7 dongs given up, and 46 2/3. In the past couple starts, he's given up a few runs, but he'd been bitten by the long ball, and he's plunked a few as well. Despite a rocky start to the season where it seemed at times he was honestly pitching to keep his spot in the rotation, he's had a decent season. His win-loss record does not indicate that, though, and that's something that's out of his control. He's just 5-14 with a 3.98 ERA. His FIP and xFIP are both right around there in the same neighborhood. A 121 whip. He struck out 156, walked 41. 21 dongs is a lot in 156 innings pitched, and he lines up to pitch the last day of the season at the Angels. He's going to give you strikeouts. He has 7 starts with 8 strikeouts or more. He's fanning over 23% of the batters he faces, and he's striking out a batter per inning, like literally 156 and 156 innings. It's always nice when things kind of just work out nice and even that way. He's got above average swing and miss. His swinging strike rate is over 12%, and his whiff rate is a healthy 26.5. He's also not going to go out there and beat himself most of the time. His walk rate is just 6.1%, and he's under 2.5 walks per 9. Absolutely love it. With a 30.6% chase rate, he's one of the better pitchers in the league at fooling batters. Getting ahead early in the count is one of the keys to success for a pitcher, and his 63.2% first pitch strike rate shows us he understands that. He also gives plenty of attention to the strike zone, working there 51% of the time. By missing bats and getting batters to chase, he's limiting contact. His overall rate is under 76%, and he's dead on average in the zone. Hitters are fairly aggressive against him as well, both in general and in the zone. Quality of contact is fine, but not great. Exit velocity is kind of high at 89.8. 8% barrel rate is just a little worse than average, and he's allowing his balls to get hard over 40% of the time. And quite frankly, that can be kind of painful. Taking a peek at his batted ball profile, we see he's a fly ball pitcher that gets pulled quite a bit. His ground ball rate is much lower than what we see around the league, and his line drive rate is a few points above. That's led him to a decent 290 BABIP, but he's getting dong dropped on him well more than what we would look for. The Angels do have a bit of pop, but he's had a somewhat successful 2 starts against them already. And at this point in time, they're, most teams are just looking to play out the string, get this shit over with so they can go, golf or do whatever the hell it is they do in the off season. Not the Tigers though, because they're looking to play some October baseball.
We got a couple questions in the chat from 2K.
What's up, 2K? Welcome back, dude.
Okay. Drop Royce and Horowitz for Acuna, Robles, or
yes,
Robles, or Jake Berger.
I like Robles and Berger, but for different reasons. Berger is going to give you more power. Robles has been on an absolute tear, really, over the past, we'll call it 6 to 8 weeks up there in Seattle.
Acuna's been pretty good since he got brought up, but
he has, but I think part of that might be I don't want to say beginner's luck, but there's not a whole lot of book out on him yet. Royce, you love the upside, right? I mean, the dude can go out there and just mash, but he could, also go out there tonight, walk up to home plate and sprain his knee.
Right.
I mean, the dude is made of glass. Spencer Horowitz, he's been one of those solid under the radar guys. And I think his name has come up a couple times this season as well. Like I said, if you're going to make those moves, I go for Robles and Berger. I think between the two of them, they give you a nice combination of power and speed.
Good stuff. Second question. Better add Luke Weaver or Edwin Diaz?
Damn. That's a good question.
What's the schedule look like?
Luke Weaver has been on absolute fire lately. I mean, dude's striking out almost 2 guys an inning. Admittedly, I've not looked into Edwin Diaz as much there. The Mets are playing for something. The Yankees are too, to a degree. I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs, but the Mets are really working to secure that spot. You know what? Let me pull up.
Diaz has at Atlanta starting today and then at Milwaukee for the weekend.
Damn, that's a couple tough series because they're battling with Atlanta.
Yeah.
What do the stupid Spankies have?
Oh, let's see.
This is really
versus the Orioles now, and then at home versus Pittsburgh final or the weekend.
All right.
Kind of leaning Weaver.
A little bit, yeah. And quite honestly, 2K, I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I know that's kind of a shitty cop out, but both of these guys are elite options. Both of the teams are playing for something. The Yankees have a 6-game lead coming into play today. So what's their magic number? 1? Yeah. Once they get things wrapped up, maybe they give some dudes some rest. Who knows? The Mets need every win they can get. I think as I just kind of talk my way through it, I think that gives Diaz just a slight edge, just because, the Yankees win 1 and the division is wrapped up. They're chilling, just don't get rusty. The Mets, every game this week is going to count.
That's true. That's good advice.
I hope so. Advice. I do my best. Try not to give shitty advice.
Good luck, 2K. Take it home. Win that baby.
Hell yeah. Good luck. So we got one more cat to talk about here. Again, no stranger to this show. There is a closer by committee in Arizona right now. And to me, I think AJ Puck looks like the best option. Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, he's been number 15 relief pitcher since the 8th of September. He's appeared in 8 games, 9 innings, 15 Ks in 9 innings. That's just amazing. Only walked a couple, allowed 3 hits, no earned run, a save. His ERA is 0. That's awesome. And his whip's 0.56. And he hasn't been tagged for a run since all the way back to August second.
Damn.
That's insane. On the year, 287 ERA, FIPS at 250, and WHIPs just a tick over 1. He has a K per 9 of 11.2. That's a strikeout rate of over 30%. Walk rate, it's a little high. He's in the bottom quarter of the league at 9.6%. Expected stats, batting average, slugging, and xWOBA are all in the 99th percentile or better. Looking at his StatCast, if Puck was the closer on any team, he'd be way more widely owned. I wish he could start again, and maybe he will again someday, but only 22% with owned with just amazing StatCast. Fastball velo is 95.3. Hard contact allowed. What hard contact? EV is just 86 miles an hour. Hard hits down to 32.9. Barrel rate, 3, Matt. Effing 3. Just outstanding. And all 3 of those are in the 90th percentile or better. His chase and whiff rates are excellent as well. Both are at 32.5%. He's got a swinging strike rate all the way up to 14.7 and a called plus swinging strike rate just shy of 32%. Combine those numbers with the very low contact rates, and I definitely could open up a save chance or two over the final week of the season, who's just been on a very impressive roll. Very good ad for you if you need some saves.
Absolutely.
We got anything in the chat?
Negative.
Okay. All right. This is all I made for the listener league here really fast. So we do have the championship going today. Supersonic Loud Boy Enterprises is in there. He's already got a nice lead there, about 70 points versus Seon's BBC.
What does BBC stand for again, dude?
British Broadcasting Corporation. We're gonna go with that.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So good luck to both of you. Loud Boy, you know, your inaugural fantasy baseball season, and here you are in the championship game. My brother was in a fantasy football league last year for the first time and won the championship as well. So I don't get it. Definitely some luck out there. But
I like how you tried to claim that championship by fucking proxy because you helped him draft.
I did. I didn't even help him draft that one. That got auto drafted because he didn't even know about it. He just got handed a team, and we over, few weeks, we got it primed and good, and he just went on a roll. Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, I also helped you help him.
I got a big jar. I got a big jar of green stuff from him for helping him last year, so that was nice.
Pickled jalapenos?
Yes, pickled jalapenos. Yep, that's the what's a new code word for it?
That'll work.
Pickled jalapenos. But
so before Kyle hits us with his intro, because
outro,
outro, I'm not supposed to talk once he starts that. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has joined us this season. In my mind, we have the absolute best audience, the best chat going on. I love all you guys, and I want nothing more. Even if it means I don't succeed, I want to help you guys not only succeed and win championships, but I want you to have fun, because that's what this is all about, right? Maybe you can win a couple bucks, or you can win a trophy, or you can win bragging rights, or whatever it is. But like many things in life, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And I'm sincerely thankful and humbled that those of you out there have decided to join us on this journey.
Absolutely. I second that wholeheartedly. It's been great. I know baseball's wrapping up, but a little sad about it there. It's just been a really long season, and the chat's been great. Everybody, I love everybody's sense of humor. Everybody's funny in this chat. I consider me and Matt sometimes funny as well, here and there, but you guys really, you guys really make this all worthwhile. Appreciate it very much.
We're going to be back next Tuesday at 8. Like I said in the intro, we're just going to put a bow on the season. Whoever wins the podcast league is welcome to come on with us and shoot the shit for a little bit. Anybody else out there wants to come on? Hell, why not?
Yeah, maybe we'll do some
We can do a
season-ending awards or something of that nature. Something
yeah,
fun.
we can do a ask me anything or something like that.
Oh,
have
God.
a little fun with it.
That would be good. And
I mean, you can ask. It doesn't mean I'm going to answer truthfully.
That's true.
There's plenty of shit I'm taking to my grave. There's stuff I would lie to Jesus in court about. So
Matt doesn't care about getting perjured. He does not care. So good luck everyone on your fantasy playoff matchup in the finals as well. Yeah, you can find us Tuesdays and Thursday nights on our fantasy football YouTube channel from here on out as well, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Stay stoned, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us.
Kelsey asks, who's going to win my belt there in the background? Yeah. That's a special prize.
Yeah. I think I see you just walking around the house naked, except for that belt on.
Dude, what is wrong with you? Let's get the hell out of here.